What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Suzanne Vega as we continue to pick up the remaining tunes on Solitude Standing, 1987. I wish you could see Luca. She is ridiculously adorable. But thank you again to Sofia, who not only provided this album and her self-titled album, but gave me some notes as to the remaining tunes, and she mentioned it would be good to finish this album with both versions of Tom's Diner, which start and close the album, which is to say Tom's Diner begins the album and then Tom's Diner Reprise ends the album. So I'll do those in a 2-for-1, and we'll do those after I think a couple more tracks. The first of the two before then that I'm going to do, I think it actually comes after the one other one I haven't done on this album, but it's called, is it In the Eyes? Is that right? Or In the Eye, singular. So yeah, it's an interesting phrase. It sounds a bit uncomfortable. Something being in the eye isn't normally a good thing. Now, it could be in the eye as in the line of sight, in the vision of an eye. And of course, an eye and vision can be not always literal, but it can relate to seeing something clearly or at least being aware of it, and that could be emotionally or psychologically, but taking it at face value, it suggests something that is in the eye, maybe in terms of vision, but also maybe in terms of an irritant or a foreign body, as you would say it in a literal sense, which that sounds less pleasant, that sounds irritating, that sounds potentially damaging, or at least rendering your sight incomplete or partially damaged. So yeah, I feel like all those concepts could be interesting metaphors or figurative meaning. Knowing Suzanne's songwriting, even if I do catch some of the lines clearly, that may or may not give me a direct indication of what's happening. I think a lot of her songs have very poetic lyrics, and even if you get a sense maybe conceptually what's happening, there are lines where, at least on a first listen, there's a bit of opacity. So I'll see what I can catch, and I'll also try not to run over Luca down here with my chair. This is Suzanne Vega. The track is In the Eye, and it's from her 1987 album Solitude Standing.
And I would burn myself into your memory.
I should have thought in advance about the idea of looking someone in the eye, because that is, of course, a very common expression. I'll admit, once I realized that was the essence of the title phrase, I did think of the Karate Kid and Mr. Miyagi telling Daniel-san that when he bows, always look eye, look eye. But yes, okay, so what I took away from it lyrically, and again, there might be nuance or aspects of this that I couldn't follow on a first listen, but I think I did hear most of the lines, and it sounds like she's saying, and indeed, like, what a intense and implicitly violent line to start with. You know, if you kill me right now, I'm gonna look you in the eye and, you know, sort of burn myself into your memory and infuse all of you right to the day you die, and everything you do, everything you are. But yeah, it sounds like she's saying, you know, whatever you may do to me, whatever bad consequences may come from this, I'm not going to run from it, I'm not going to hide from it, and I'm going to make you face it. I'm going to directly, I'm going to direct all of that to you, and so even if I perish, whether that's more literally or conceptually, figuratively, you know, whether she's being emotionally killed or killed as in removed from the situation, or again, maybe literally, but it's like she's saying, I'm going to make you wear it. I'm going to make it so that every day, in everything you do, you're never going to be able to get away from this. You're going to wear me like a scarf. I'm going to be ingrained in your memory, in your thoughts, in your feelings, in every action you take from this point on. So you're not going to be able to kill me or do away with me and just move on and forget about it. This is something that will, I hope, carry with you for the rest of your life in everything and every aspect of your existence. So it's like, in a way, not defeatist, but it's acknowledging that she's not in a position of true control here, but she's also making a stand, and I think conveying a degree of power and taking control in another way. Now, of course, there's no direct indication that she would be successful in this. You know, the other person might be so crass or able to bury whatever consequences or whatever actions, unethical or otherwise, they've done, that they won't actually be infused with her. They won't have to wear her, you know, like a chain or indeed like a scarf. They may not carry the memory of her to the degree that the narrator wants, but there's a powerful and self-righteous, I guess self-righteous is often used in a critical way. Oh, you're so self-righteous. But a righteous, let's say, determination from the narrator that even if she's removed, even if she's killed, however you take that, she won't be forgotten, and her intent and legacy will live on, even if unwillingly on the part of the other person. So yeah, it's a really interesting tune lyrically, to the degree I caught it. And again, I don't claim to, you know, see all the contours of this, so let me know if there's a detail or an aspect that I'm missing or misinterpreting. Sonically, it has a bit of energy to it. It's a bit less like acoustic guitar poet like some of her songs have been, though it's not quite, you know, super atmospheric and moody like a couple others have been. Again, it's got some energy. It's sort of in what I would call like a pop rock kind of vein, or maybe like more an indie rock kind of vein. It has a bit of a feel of like an indie rock track, you know, not identically to the Smiths, but something that if you changed the voice to Morrissey and, you know, made it even a bit more mopey sounding, then maybe it could be a Smiths tune. So yeah, somewhere between pop rock and indie rock is where I would put this one. And I enjoyed the seeming like contrast. Again, it didn't sound angry or, you know, retributive or vengeful, but it does feel like that's on some level the character of the themes that she's conveying. So there was a bit of contrast or tension to the tune internally, is what I mean to say. In any case, as I said, there's, I think, a couple more if you count the 2-for-1 that I'm going to do. Hello, Luca. So next time we're going to hear Ironbound, Fancy Poultry. I don't know if I've ever been more amused at a song title looking on a first glance, but yes, Ironbound and then a dash, Fancy Poultry, which is absolutely hilarious. And then, as I said, both versions of Tom's Diner. So we'll look forward to those. And once again, shout out to Darren, who has shared this album. There was actually, now that I say this, someone who commented and said it might be a shame to jump straight from Solitude Standing to this album. Now, in the moment, that's all I have. That's all I have at my disposal. But I think their implication, or more or less directly, they were saying that there are albums between Solitude Standing and this one that are worth going through. I have no doubt that's the case, but on some level I have to go through what I have. So we'll see what we can do, but either way, at some point, whether sooner or a little bit farther down the road, we will go through Flying with Angels. So thank you again to Darren, and thank you again to Sofia for providing both this album and the self-titled album and offering some notes to make sure I wasn't missing anything. Thank you to Luca. I don't want to pick her up because she looks so comfortable and ridiculous, but I wish you could see the feline sights that I see in the eye. But yes, I will see you for the next one, as hopefully will Luca, maybe this time up on the chair, or next time. Peace. Yes, I'm a crazy person, I know.